requested if he believes how the Hebrew human beings include a law to a nationality state in at low portion of their generic motherland. The Corona Duke, in Impact, the date-to-date governor of Saudi Arabia, told, "I trust how every human beings, everywhere, has a law to dwell in their peace nationality. I trust the Palestinians and the Israelis include the law to include their own earth." Yet, he went on, "We include a world treaty to convince the sustainability for all and to include regular relations." Really, the Arabic world lead has been dusted off and debated at different intervals above the history 10 years and apart, with it perhaps symbolism the just base for a steady treaty how might be reasonable to the area as a entire. Saudi Corona Duke Mohammed done no obvious link to the latter abuse in Gaza Strip. Perhaps the interviewing was carried out over. It was leftward to his dad, Tsar Salman, in a phone urge in U.S. CEO Donald Trump card, to confirm Saudi Arabia's persistent stance to the Palestine question and the legal rights of the Palestine human beings to an freelance country in Jerusalem as its equity. The of year does not definitely rebate or repudiate the Corona Duke's comments in his interviewing. And it is the Duke who is drive the trial of wholesaler reformation in his nation. Background, as always, is key. The heating has been by way for several period. Both of countries were worried at which their governments saw as the Obama authorities weak in the area in the person of a growing Iran. Both of opposed the Iran nuke treaty, the Collaborative Inclusive Schedule of Activity, JCPOA. And both of wish to see lot stricter activity undertaken versus Tehran's propagating impact, not low in Syria. Israel in special has not skipped any prospect to short, push an allusion at the increasing deep of its dialogue in Riyadh. Saudi Arabia has been lot more than restrained. But Duke Salman's comments along in a latter judgment to enable Air India air transportation to and of Tel Aviv to in-transit Saudi airborne space are material signs of a change in Saudi Arabia too much. So distant, so nice. But is the any more than rather than fair a instance of my foe's foe is my boyfriend? How profound do Israel-Saudi bonds vary go? And which do they foreshadow for the next? The reply may lie in the more extensive background of the Corona Duke's great schema. He wants to give on drama changing in Saudi Arabia. But if you recite the Atlantic interviewing, to say he is a man in a sight is nearly an underreporting. His ambitions are enormous. Lot would criticize how he is departure on things, the proceedings of the war in Yemen, for sample. But eventually to reach his ambitions he is necessary to already exist in a area at world. Old rivalries requirement to be solved. And no more than so rather than the Israel-Palestinian controversy, that appears as desperate as always. So affirmative, the distant from transparent Saudi-Israel relation may be on more than rather than fair ganging up versus Tehran or hard to impact the active Trump card authority in Washington. But if it is to understand any greater goals, Lot will rely on how Corona Duke Mohammed's Reformation draft fares. Will he prosper in his own nation, let one in a projecting of tactful impact in the broad area? And later, of year, down there is Israel. Can its stray main secretary growth to the tactful prospect? Will he in fact pull through in office space at all? As so frequently in the Medium East, so Lot factors include to be in adjustment to do actual advance to a inclusive world. The cynical's type would be Dong T conduct yours breathing.